Right. Good afternoon, students. So now I'm going to discuss about command line arguments. So here, if you look at the command line arguments, these are the arguments. Argument in the sense it is a value which is passed to the function, right? And here we are going to pass these values at the command. So already you people are aware of it. We executed the programs with the help of Turbo C compiler, and recently you have seen another developer plus compiler. So in all those compilers, what you are doing, a program is going to be executed, and you are able to provide the input and you are able to get the output, right? And in the same way here, the program itself, it is accepting input at the command line. So already we discussed in the beginning of our subject, that is operating system is classified as disk operating systems, graphic mode operating systems, like that. So disk operating system is DOS. So what is a DOS? DOS will accept the whatever the commands you are able to provide it command mode only. So if you are taking the graphic mode like Windows, Unix, what you are able to see, so you are able to select the graphical symbols in order to provide the input, and you are able to see the result in terms of graphical symbols itself. So here, if we are going to take the DOS, what is a DOS? Disk operating system. So here we are able to give the commands mode input only, and we are able to get the output also in command mode only. So here, if you want to provide the input at command mode, then we are going to use the command line arguments. So here there are two arguments. One is argument counter and argument vector. So argument counter is used to count the number of arguments which are passed at the command line, and argument vector is a so it's a pointer kind of array. So it is the memory can be allocated dynamically. So I will clarify you what is dynamic, what is static. So if the memory allocation is required for every variable, already we discussed variable in the sense it is a value which is having some memory location, and it is used for storing the data, right? So here the memory location is occupied by particular value which is able to store in the computer's memory. So this value is going to have some memory address, right? And suppose if you are using integer, a keyword, to declare a variable like integer a, what it means? So integer in the sense it requires 2 bytes of memory. So whenever you are going to declare integer a, then internally the computer's memory is going to allocate 2 bytes of memory for this variable, right? And this is static allocation. That means before going to assign the value, whenever you are going to declare a variable, then there itself the memory is assigned for that particular value or whatever. So this is static in the sense during the declaration itself the memory can be allocated for particular variable. And if it is dynamic, if you are going to assign the value, then only the memory is going to be allocated. I will tell you. Suppose what I told you, integer a. So integer a in the sense it is a variable which is declared as integer. So whenever you declared a variable with the data type integer, then what is going to happen? 2 bytes of memory is going to be reserved for this a. So whenever I am going to assign a equals to 10, then what is a 10? 10 is a value which is assigned for variable a. Then that 10 is going to be stored in the memory location where you decided for A's occupancy. So in the same way, suppose if I declare some integer star p. What is star p? P is a pointer variable. So here again the pointer variable you declared as integer. So what is the memory requirement for the pointer variable? 2 bytes. So here you are not allocating the 2 bytes memory there itself. Suppose if you are going to assign the star p equals to 10, then the memory is going to be allocated. So in case of first case, what you observed, static allocation will be there. In the second case, dynamic allocation. So in static allocation, before assigning the value to the variable, the memory is allocated for the variable. In dynamic allocation, while assigning the value to the variable, then the memory is going to be allocated. That is the basic difference between the dynamic allocation and static allocation, right? And here what we are going to see, argument C is a counter variable which is used to count the number of arguments, and argument V is a vector or array which is going to hold the whatever the arguments you use which you passed at the command line. So that is the command line arguments. So if you look at the program, see this program, what you are able to see, the main is a function which is having with two arguments. One is argument counter and argument vector. Just now I told you, right? and argument vector is declared as a pointer. If you are declaring any particular variable as a pointer, then the memory allocation is the major difference. If you are declaring integer argc, that means 2 bytes of memory is going to be allocated for argument counter. And here if you are going to declare character argument vector, so as per the value assignment, suppose if you are going to assign only one value, 1 byte is going to be assigned. Suppose if you are going to assign 10 values, then 10 bytes of memory is reserved for argument vector. So based on the necessity, then the requirement can be assigned for argument vector. So this is the way we are going to declare argument counter and argument vector. Then the number of arguments which are passed at the command line is going to be printed with the help of argument counter value, and I'm going to use a loop for printing the number of arguments which are passed at the command line. So using this vector, I'm going to print the whatever the arguments which are passed at the argument. See this. In this example, what I'm doing, command is a program name, and AA is one argument, BB is another argument, XS is another argument. Total with the file name, there are 4 arguments. Then whenever you are going to see the output, what is going to be happening? Number of arguments which you are passed are 4, and the arguments are, one is command.exe, another one is AA, another one is BB, and last finally the another value is XX. Like this we are going to get the output for the command line arguments. So this is about command line arguments. And next the continuation to the discussion, I am going to discuss about strings. So already we started the discussion with arrays, right? So in case of arrays, what we have seen, array can be declared as a variable. The capability of array is which can able to store multiple values simultaneously. So that is the feasibility of arrays. Yes or no? Suppose if I declare integer a, then what is going to be happen? A is a variable which is capable of holding only one value at a time. But if I declare integer a of 10, then what is going to be happen? A is a, again it is a variable, but what kind of variable? It is an array kind of variable. If it is array kind of variable, what is the feasibility we are going to get? We are able to specify the size. What the size indicates? The number of values which we are able to assign for that particular variable. Suppose if I declare integer a of 10, what it means? Now the a is a variable which is capable of holding the values from 0 to 9. That means a of 0 value, a of 1 value, a of 2 value, a of 3 value, so on. So like this 10 values, up to the 10 values we are able to assign for the a. Suppose if it is a normal integer, then what we can do? We can assign only one value. If it is an array variable, then what we can assign? We are able to assign multiple values. Suppose if I declare 10, so that it is capable to hold 10 values simultaneously. And here the size is also known as index. What is index? Index position always starts from 0 to up to that number. So 10 means 0 to 9. 100 means 0 to 99, like that. So in the same way, the concept is implemented for if it is with numerical values, then arrays concept is going to be used. In the same way, if you are able to declare a character type of array, that is the string. String is a character type of array. What is meant by string? String is group of characters. In simple way, what we can conclude, string means a group of characters. Suppose computer. What is computer? It is a word. Basically, in real terminology, what we are going to call it is a word. Word in the sense group of alphabets, right? So in the same way, the group of characters are going to be considered as a string, and the string always terminated with \0. So what is \0? This is the end of the character, end character. So whenever you are going to conclude any particular string, then what you have to do? You have to attach with \0. What it indicates? This is the termination point where you are going to complete the string length, right? And the character strings are used to meaningful and readable programs. And what are the kinds of operations we are able to perform? What we can do with strings? We can do reading, we can do writing, we can copy the string values from one to another. We are able to combine the two strings together. We are able to compare two strings whether they are equal or not equal, and we are able to extract some portion of the string. That is also possible. What are these? These are all the operations. So operation in the sense, it is a kind of activity which we are able to perform on particular entity, right? And here what is the entity? String is an entity. What we can do? We can read, we can write, we can copy, we can combine, we can compare, we can extract. So these are all the things we are able to perform with strings, right? So basically here what you have to observe, What is a string? String is a group of characters in simple way. And how can you declare a string? While declaring the strings, you have to keep in mind that you have to show the end of the character. How can you show the end of the character? With a null character, that is \0. Clear? Am I clear with you? And if you look at the syntax of the character string declaration, see the string can be declared with the help of character char keyword, right? So why? Because string is a group of characters, right? And you need to specify the string name. What is a string name? Any kind of variable is going to be acting as a string name, and you need to specify the size of the string. Just like array, how you declare the size, in the same way you are going to declare the size of the string. Suppose I want to store the student database. What the student database requires? Student name. What is the student name? Student name is a string. Is it or not? String means group of characters. So how to declare the student name? So you have to use the keyword char and the variable name student name, and the size can be specified. Suppose generally what I am going to consider, the name maximum number of characters which are involved in a particular student name is 25. That means up to the 25 characters we are able to assign for the S name. Clear? See this here, I have given some examples like character name. I have declared the length of the string is 20. So that doesn't mean it has to accept only 20 characters. Maybe 20 characters are less than the 20 characters. Like this you are able to assign the values. So character city 11 means, so here I am going to assign the 11 characters. Karim Nagar 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and one character is reserved for end character. What is that end character? \0. I already told you every string is going to be end with \0, right? And if you want to assign a string for with a single individual letters or individual alphabets, then you need to use the single quotes, and using these single quotes you are able to assign the values. And while assigning the single quotes, it is compulsory to add the \0. And so this is the way we are able to declare the string. And if you are not specifying the size, that indicates the as per the number of characters which you are going to assign, then the string size is going to be defined. And input output functions as usual. So printf is the input output function, scanf is the input function which is used to provide the input, and which is printf is a function which is used to get the output, right? And character address, I have declared the address as a character variable. The size of the character address is 15 characters, and using the scanf I am going to print the address. That means I am going to read the value for address. And here the address operator is optional, so it is not compulsory to use the address operator in case of scanf function while reading the value for strings. But while reading the integer, it is compulsory to use the address operator, but here the address operation is not required. And so this is another way of declarations. And the control string for string is %s. One more important thing you have to keep in mind for the control string. What is the control string for strings? %s. What is the control string for character? %c. What is the control string for integer? %d. What is the control string for float? %f. Like this. And there is a one more function, gets is a function which we can read a line of text. Okay, so there is a gets is a function which can read line of text. So single sentence, generally what we can consider the sentence kind of activity we are able to read through gets address. That means New York, there are two words, so individual two words are going to be considered as sentence. So like this we are able to assign the sentence with the help of gets function. And if it is a printf function, we are able to print the string whatever it is, whether it is a sentence or a character, we are able to print with the help of printf function. And in the same way, puts is a function which uses to print the string onto the screen. And if you look at the gets and puts function demonstration, see this, enter line of text, and here you are able to read the get string, right? Suppose if you want to assign the value, what you have to do, if you are using scanf function, you have to write scanf and the control string %s, and what is the variable you have used? String. Like this you have to write the value for reading the string value. And if you are going to provide the blank space, then it doesn't accept. But if, in case of gets function, what is the feasibility you are going to get? Gets directly using the string variable, you are able to assign the value to the string function directly. So this is the feasibility we are going to get with the gets function. In the same way, puts and here C is a case sensitive, that is a statement I have entered as an input, and as please I am going to get the output. And array of strings, as usual. So what we have discussed in single dimensional arrays, multi-dimensional array, two-dimensional array. So if there are two indexes, then that is two dimension. If there are more than two, that is three dimension, multi-dimension. That already we have discussed during the discussion of arrays. The same concept can be applied for strings also. And here if you look at here, initialization characters city 3 of 20. What it means, I am going to read three different cities. Each city length is 20 characters, right? So there are three column values and only one row, so like this. Okay, so this is the way we are going to declare array of strings. And if you look at the program for array of strings, I am going to read 5 different strings. Each string maximum length is 30 characters. So this is the way I am going to read, and this is the way I am going to print the values. And if you are look at the manipulation comes to the concept which is used to how can we do the changes. So coming to that, there are functions like string length, string copy, string comparison, string reverse, string concatenation. So string length in the sense, in order to find out the length of the string. Suppose computer, what is the length of computer? What is the length of computer? It is a string. So it consists of 8 characters. What is the length? 8. 8 is the length of 8 bytes is the length of the string. So in order to find out the length of the string, what is the function we are going to use? There are some predefined functions are available in the C library. They are string length, and in order to copy the one string to another string, the string copy function is going to be used. And in order to compare the two strings whether they are equal or not, so then the string comparison is going to be used. And if you want to reverse the computer, suppose there is a word tomato. So I want to print in reverse way. Sorry, O-T-O-M-A-T, like this. So the string can be reversed with the help of string reverse function. And concatenation. Concatenation in this sense combining. Suppose I have a word computer and another word I have program. I want to combine these two words together, then I can use the string concatenation function. Using this string concatenation, I am able to combine two strings together. So these are the string manipulation functions. And if you look at the syntax of those functions, so how to write the string length? So string length is a function which is going to return the length of the string. So that return value is going to be stored in the variable. So this is the function. What this function is going to do? In order to find out the number of characters which are assigned for this string. So that the size of the string is going to be read by variable. So variable is a value which is going to store the value which is the length of the string. And string copy, so string copy in the sense string 1, string 2. So what it going to do? String 2 to string 1. So whatever the values which are going to be stored in the string 2 are going to be copied into string 1. So this is the way we are able to copy the, so Delhi is city 1. So what is going to happen? Delhi is a value which is assigned for city 1. Like this we are able to copy the strings. And string comparison. So in order to compare both the strings whether they are equal or not, we are using string comparison function. The resultant, so the difference value is going to be stored in the variable. So if the variable is equal to 0, that clearly indicates both the strings are same. If the other than 0, then it indicates both the strings are different. Okay, and comparison of strings can be made, and the comparison result is going to be stored in the variable. And string reverse. What is the string reverse? In order to print the given string in reverse order, then the string reverse is going to be used. String reverse of string, that what it indicates, it is going to print the string, whatever the given string, that will be printed in reverse order. And string concatenation, in order to combine the two strings together, then what we are going to use? String concatenation is going to be used. And if you look at the program, what is this program? Here I have declared a line 81 size, and I have declared variables which are going to be used in the program. Just I am reading the value, enter the text, give one space after each word. When compiled, press return. And what I am going to do, I am going to count the number of characters in my sentence. and while counting the numbers I am going to skip the blank spaces, and I am going to increase the words, and I'm going to find out the length of the string. So the number of lines, number of words, and number of characters I'm going to do. So using the space character I'm going to recognize as a words, and using the next line character, so that is slash n is a representation for next line, right? So using the slash n I am going to identify it as a next line. So using this program I am able to find out the number of words, number of lines, and number of characters. So that is about strings. I hope you got clarity on the strings. So if you find any doubts you can raise, we can come for the discussion so that we